We are right at the entrance of Aga Khan Palace, and we can relive the memories of Mahatma Gandhiji. Which side are you crossing?
Take a close-up of this.
This was the place that we entered from, and into this room from this door, and you can see that there's a passage that runs right through, and we can actually see all the relics, etc., all letters, clothes and all that Gandhiji used to have. And just want to show you the room, because you must see how beautiful Aga Khan Palace is. It's got such a lovely roof made out of wood, some nice carvings, etc., and you can see. And as I showed you before, this room houses the statue of Gandhiji. So we'll move ahead and see the other rooms. We are now watching the statue of Gandhiji, and it's a perfect depiction of how he looked. The statue looks very, very lifelike. You can take a look. I'm speaking a little softly because it's mentioned silence, but you can see. In fact, my father used to wear similar glasses, and we used to call them Gandhi spectacles. Here is where we can see a statue of Gandhiji with some parts of the spinning wheel that he popularly advised all Indians to do to make their own khadi clothes. You can see him wearing khadi clothes here, and I believe this is one of his tables that he used in his lifetime. This was the scene of an epic fast of 21 days in August 1942. Entering
The life stories written Gandhiji played a very important role in his life.
Here is a room that tells us about Kasturba Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhiji's wife, what all she did to support the freedom movement. She was a very strong pillar supporting him during the freedom struggle. Here is her picture, and this is a statue of Gandhiji in praying position. Reason Gallery 5. The entrance door is closed, but from Gallery 4, from this particular glass window, we are able to show you all his belongings, or some of his belongings rather. You can see all his stuff here, including his slippers, some parts of the spinning wheel here. I think seems like a Bhagavad Gita there, a chair and some other stuff. Let me take you to the other window. You can see some more of his stuff and some pictures of him. Here, a large painting of his wife with her head on his lap. Amazing piece of history. Especially if you want to know more about Gandhiji, this is the place to come, besides the Mani Bhavan at Mumbai. As you can see, this is the side view of Aga Khan Palace. You can see such a beautiful structure made somewhere in 1800s, late 1800s, 1892 I think. Such a lovely place, as you can see. And this side is the burial ground, or the Samadhi. Will be getting there shortly and covering that now for you.
What's your channel name, sir?
Unravel.
TravelsUnravel. कर लो कैस मैं भी कर लेता हूँ सब्सक्राइब.
We are at the burial site. Here you can see we're supposed to maintain complete silence, so actually I'm actually whispering, if you can see. Here rests the ashes of Mahatma Gandhi, and this is donated by followers of Prince Karim Aga Khan. It's a very tranquil and beautiful and peaceful place, as you can see. Very peaceful. You can hear the birds chirping, people whispering, and very nice. Just a small little burial ground, a samadhi, but very tastefully, beautifully done to pay respects to Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Within the complex of Aga Khan Palace, you can see a lot of handicrafts, khadi products, a lot of handmade products if you want. This is the only outlet that they have in this vicinity, and it's not available anywhere else, so those who want to purchase can come to this place. You can see many things are here. We are at the war memorial, and we can see these are the busts of some of the army personnel who are martyrs to the Indian Army, and very beautifully done. We can see this entire memorial with the Indian tricolor in the background. Very proud moment for all Indians to see this, and very tastefully, beautifully done up. And I believe it's done quite recently after the Kargil war, so really a nice place to pay Shraddhanjali or tribute to the Indian Armed Forces. Very beautiful. To my extreme right here is a nice depiction of the Indian Army in action. I think it's made out of bronze or some metal, and it is called "One Flag, One Land, One Heart, One Nation." I probably think this is the Army's tagline for the Indian Army. We can see Operation Polo Hyderabad, Operation Vijay, Indo-Pak War, again Indo-Pak War 2, and it goes on. This entire wall here is a wall of fame for all the martyrs. And here is a beautiful fighter aircraft. It must be very old, but it can give you a glimpse of history and how the earlier warplanes were. I'm not sure whether it's a MiG-21. Yeah, it's written there. Let me just take you and show you, because I was wondering whether it's a Sukhoi or a MiG-21. No, this is MiG-23. MiG-23, not even a MiG-21. So I stand corrected. You can see this. It was manufactured in 1982, and You can see it has got a unique distinction of being the first fighter aircraft ever to cross Banihal Pass and J&K by night. And you can see it can fire 57 rockets, 500 kg bombs. It served splendidly for a period of 27 years and flew more than 1,54,000 hours in the Indian sky. So the nation salutes this jet. Excellent, see. Still looks in good shape except some of the metal probably that needs to be looked at. Here we can see the Vijayanta MBT battle tank. This pillar has details about 1999 Operation Vijay, which we all know commonly as the Kargil War. India lost 527 brave hearts in this war, and Pakistan Army lost 800 soldiers. Indeed, a tragic loss on both sides. The war 1965 between India and Pakistan, and it was called Operation Gibraltar, related war, and the war ended on December 23rd, 1965. This pillar depicts Indo-Pak War of 1971. We can see that the Indian Army prepared a launch swift multi-pronged operations and captured Dhaka within 13 days. Historic moment of surrender was signed at Dhaka on 16 December 71. Operation of Goa 1961. You can see it was captured back, and the operation commenced on December 1961. Indian Armed Forces got back Goa, ending 451 years of the Portuguese rule. We are at Shaniwar Wada, the famous place of Sambhaji Rao, and we can see his statue right here, and bang across here is where the fort Shaniwar Wada is, and apparently inside was a township that housed maybe thousands of people. We are not aware, but it was destroyed by the British inside, above the foundation before they left India. But you can see the remnants of this fort. It is still going strong and looks really majestic, very nice. And on top is where the viewing gallery is. So you can see, I'll zoom in and show you the viewing gallery from this side and maybe on the inside as well. You can see it pretty good. See the entrance. The door has spikes protruding outside to ward off attacks from the enemy. So you can see the door is still also quite intact. Looks like a wooden door with metal on the outside. So this is how it looks. There's a huge crowd on a weekend. After entering into Shaniwar Wada, we can see on the inside how it looks. Majestic, very well maintained. It's pretty hot. You can see the cannons on both sides here of the entrance. And as we've seen on the door, it's got spikes to ward off attack on elephants and horses. Now we are looking at Shaniwar Wada inside at a glimpse. You can see some little fountains here within this barricade, and again here on this side. We're heading inside now into the main area. this area was made more popular or became more popular after Bajirao Mastani, the movie. Here is a placard that shows the family tree of the Peshwas. Here we can see Balaji Vishwanath as the head, and then we had Bajirao, Chimaji Appa, Bhuibai and Anubai, right down to Savai Madhav Rao, as we can see it. This place was hustling, bustling with lot of activity and good infrastructure, but was destroyed by the British before they left India. So that's why probably you don't see anything above this level. But otherwise you can imagine what it would have been and what kind of structure would have been there on top of this foundation. I guess we all need to see Bajirao Mastani to know how the infrastructure was, because in that movie they've recreated everything. It will allow us a glimpse into history. We are now entering the Pataleshwar Caves. Surprising to note that this old Pataleshwar Cave is situated in Pune. There's also a Jangli Maharaj temple in the vicinity. We'll first check the caves out. This is the front part, you can see, of the Nandi Murti. Seems pretty old, made of stone. Just take a look at the vicinity, some little openings. It's right in the midst of the city where this stone structure is. We are now inside the cave, and you can see completely carved out of stone. Very perfect rectangular pillars, and take a look on both sides. Today is a Sunday and therefore you see a lot of tourists around. And some little temples within the caves. As you can see, people going around praying and heading back. It's not very big, but even though it's not big, the size is quite reasonably big, and to have constructed or carved out of stone seems quite a difficult task. quite cool to be indoors. Outside it's dry and hot in Pune, but inside is pretty nice and cool. A lot of people just taking a break, sitting down, chilling out within.